A very warm welcome to everybody, and here we begin the third and the first international version of Espousal. Let me tell you guys a little story and where it all began. October 2019, we are sitting down like all event managers do, twiddling our thumbs and thinking, let's come up with the idea of our next IP. At Zero In, we have already done 5 IPs that the world knows about, and we said, let's come up with another one. At that point of time, I had this lady called Shikha Nahata, integral part of Zero In. We had Manasa P. Kumar, who was there, and we said that let's do an on-ground wedding expo. And there we were, making all preparations, talking to people, getting the whole thing doing. And come March, by the time we were kind of ready, we wanted to do this in October 2020, the pandemic hit us. Once the pandemic hit us, all our plans went obviously southwards. And we said, what do we do next? And that's when Shikha told me, let's take this online. And I said, online? She said, yeah, you guys are all there. You understand tech. Let's do it online. So we partnered with Sarkon at that time, and we took Espousal online for a very India audience. We had about 3,000 or little less people on the platform at that time. More importantly, we had a huge number of international audience. It went on very successfully. The platform at that time had a few glitches, but expectedly so. And Espousal was born. It is a registered IP. It is patented today in India and in the US, and we took it forward. Charmaine Fivers from South Africa came up to me and said, hey, Arvind, why don't we do this for a South Africa audience? And there we were. The very next version happened in March 2021, and we were there in South Africa doing this for a South Africa audience. It went marvelously well, and we are so happy and proud. And thank you, Charmaine. It was absolutely fantastic. Thereafter, what happened is that we started getting inquiries from various countries, from Sri Lanka, from the UAE, to do it, to do espousal for their country. And then we sat down on the drawing board, and we had our entire team. Cannot mention all the 20 odd names that are there, but a few of them are Vivek Moore, Shivangi Chabra, Rohan Gomes, Sunidhi, and Ananya Jha, and a few others. And we said that let's do it for an international audience. We cannot be doing this again and again. So we got together. 10 months of almost 24/7 work is what has happened. And today is the grand finale. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to every single person who is here right now for the kind of support that we have got from all of you to make this international version. Today we have 100 plus speakers who will be there on various panels over the next 3 days. We have 45 odd stalls that have come in and a horde of networking that you can do. Once again, I need to thank all the people who have supported us. And we're going to start off this with a keynote address by Samit Garg. Samit needs no introduction. Everybody knows Samit Garg. He is the god of weddings, the god of the largest events that have happened in this country. I don't need to name them. So many urban events, rural events, etc., etc. Over to you, Samit. Thank you so much for this one. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey friends, hi. I hope you guys are doing well today, and I welcome all of you to the 2022 edition of Espousal. As we know, the last 2.5 years have really been extremely tiring, extremely challenging, and also devastating for many of us. And I think, this resumption of our business, the business of celebrations, the business of weddings, the business of getting to know more people, the business of rejoicing. I think it's uh, it's absolutely fantastic that all of it has come back to us, and we hope that in the times to come, we are all collectively able to make constructive use of this new world that has been given to us. And especially in times like this, when we've had such a hard past behind recently, we realize the importance of such congregations. Congregations where we get new opportunities, congregations which also help us see new horizons and understand what the new world has there for us in store. Conventions or expos like Espousal are actually a boon in such situations because while all of us have clientele already existing with us, we have connections that we already have, but there is always a newer world that we wanted to look out to. There is always new connections that we wanted to make, and there are always new experiments that we wanted to engage with. So, thank God that we have such platforms available for us where we can reach out, make new friends, and connect with new people so that we can engage with newer opportunities. And I think it's very clearly established over a period of time that the more people you know, the more connections you make, the better business prospects you actually end up creating for yourself. So whether it is this platform, whether it is other industry platforms like Imagine, Wow, and many others that exist, it's a great opportunity for people who really want to come back, make an impact, and attack the market. It is these platforms that are really, uh, I think, these platforms make it possible, and they are extremely, extremely critical and instrumental for us to be able to use them effectively so that we can achieve our business objective. So then, what's the way forward? And I think the way forward is to make sure that there are more collaborations that are nurtured, that come out of such endeavors at the level of the organizers and at the level of the participants. I think both those quarters are equally important. We should try and make sure that there is enough and more that is packaged. We should try and make sure that there is uh, sincerity of participation, because a lot of people, we've also realized in the last 2.5 years, when online became too much online, the importance of online started to fall. But the people who really mean business have always been able to call out the important part of it, the more meaty part of it, and have been able to practicalize it in their business lives for advantages for the society at large. So collaborations is something that we should try and focus on, how to bring them about on such business platforms. The other thing which I think is very, very critical for us to be able to effectively engineer is that the right knowledge sharing process should be carved. And at times, online does become a little boring. But if the talk is crafted properly, if it is structured in a way that it is more intelligent, that it is more engaging, and many and more of these things are now possible. The advent of the metaverse, and there is so much more available on the digital technology front, which is applicable online. I think the overall curation of espousals and other business expositions on the digital platform can be done much more effectively. But for that effectivity to prevail, it is very, very important that friends, people like you, people like us, all of us start to take these opportunities and these forums a little more seriously. And trust me, you that a couple of more months and years down the line, we will realize that these platforms that are uh, being organized online really have a lot of value, because there's so much of time that we spend in commuting. There is so much of time that is wasted in traffic, that this tends to become more practical. So this doesn't mean that offline will die. Offline will remain offline and online will remain online. Offline will continue to have its own merits. Online will continue to have its own merits. People do want to meet physically sometime. They want to party together. So for all of that, those large offline industry conventions will continue to happen. But this space is eventually going to become more and more niche, and knowledge sharing, collaborations, showcasing, etc. I think will find a more defined process and mechanism as we go along. There's one other great thing that these platforms are able to do for us. They just make the whole world a very small place, because whether you're sitting here or you're sitting in Timbuktu or Honolulu or anywhere else in some obscure corner of the world, you can still be connecting like this, and just a few clicks, a few numbers dialed here and there, which is done by the computer, and we're there facing each other. So the distances have really lost all meanings, and cross-border collaborations, cross-border participations in business opportunities, etc., is something which, in due course of time, I feel will also have a lot of positive impact on the way we conduct our business. And I was attending a meeting with a few bigwigs of our industry 2-3 weeks ago in Barcelona, and they told me that they've actually been able to, conduct training programs to some hotel chains in Australia, to some other group of people in Latin America, all around our business. So, while we know that learnings happen in classrooms, we've heard that there are smaller formats of lectures that have started happening online. But imagine complete training on the hospitality sector being imparted by an institution or a hotel operating in Europe to somewhere in Australia, and, or somewhere in Latin America. I think, and there are many, many more such things that are happening. Obviously, I can't be sitting here and designing flowers on your table or executing a flower design on your table in your drawing room. I will have to be physically there. But there is so much more in the whole process that I can do sitting in my room in front of this computer. So these online opportunities in terms of these business expos, I think will become more and more profitable. When I say profitable, I mean to say that we value our time. So we decide, okay, this is the kind of time I want to invest in this particular thing. So from that time profitability perspective, they will become more and more profitable for us. It is about time that we start realizing the importance and the value of online time that we're spending, so that we are able to engage in a better manner with whatever opportunity comes our way. So which is why, previously I said that we have to start taking it seriously, because if we take it seriously, then there is better respect to the opportunity that we will be able to give. And there is obviously better respect to our time that we will attribute. The one disadvantage, however, of such initiatives is that people think that it is cheap, or it comes very cheap rather. That's a perception that we collectively need to change over a period of time, because knowledge is knowledge. Now, whether we're sharing knowledge like this, or whether we're sharing knowledge physically in front of each other in a classroom or in a convention hall, content is still the same, and it needs to be valued right. So it's my earnest request to the organizers to start valuing the platforms, to start valuing the content that they are being able to share online, because at the end of the day, the knowledge is still the same. the speaker that you have in a convention hall or sitting here on a computer screen is still the same. And the people sitting on the other side who are taking this knowledge or listening to a conversation are also people who are sparing their time or spending time, which also has value. So something which we collectively as an industry need to kind of really do is to start valuing it better, because अगर हम इसको बहुत सस्ता बना देंगे तो इसकी औकात नहीं रहेगी, और किसी भी चीज की सही पोजीशनिंग के लिए उसका राइट वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. So that's something on the flip side which I think we will have to jointly make efforts to correct. So, ladies and gentlemen, Espousal 2022, I think you have about 100 odd speakers, 45 odd stalls, and there is so much more action that is lined up over the next 3 days. So, thank you so much, Arvind. Thank you so much, everybody here, for your time. And I hope that these next 3 days are fun. And I hope to see you soon in some forum or the other, hopefully offline. Thank you.
That is for Samit Garg, an institution by himself who has come and given us so much of his experience, the gyan. I cannot thank you enough, Samit. Two quick takeaways before we start the next panel. One is when Samit spoke about collaboration. I think this entire event management, the things that I do for a living, cannot work without collaboration. Today we have our partners, Wiztails, who has set up a platform. We have Crate, who has helped us with all the platform creatives. We have Sanat from Socioactive, who has done all the back end, and so many other people. Not cannot forget to mention Davidoff and Shangri-La Group, who came in and said that, hey, we are with you. Don't worry about it. Just go for it. So that is on our collaboration. The second thing that Samit said, which I thought was very, very useful, is that online will remain online and on ground will remain on ground. And a new vertical called online has now emerged. And we as Espousal are very clear. A lot of people have told us, do it on ground, Arvind. And I've said no. This is an online product. Pandemic or no pandemic, we are going to grow Espousal in the online space and we're going to be there. Thank you, everybody.